E3 is only a few days away. Anticipation is growing among gamers who think this year's E3 is going to be fucking amazing. I, on the other hand, am coming into this year very skeptical, and for good reason. I'm sorry, but last year's E3 was not that good at all. We all got hyped because of next gen, but I personally found it to be pretty fucking dull. Microsoft showed some games, but they failed because of their DRM and Kinect. Sony showed hardly a fucking thing, and won purely because they didn't shit themselves on stage. Nintendo did okay, but they didn't show everything I wanted to see, and third-party companies tripped all over themselves last year. I understand why people are excited for E3 this year. All three of the consoles are out, which means we should see some games and a potential of next-gen hardware. I'm not too sure about that, honestly. With all the delays we've had over the last few weeks, what the fuck is actually releasing this year that we should give a shit about? Sure, there's Destiny, and Sunset Overdrive looks pretty cool, and Nintendo has a good lineup of games coming to the Wii U like Smash and Bayonetta 2. But for Microsoft and Sony in particular, how many fucking games that we should give a shit about are releasing this year on the PS4 and Xbox One? Batman, The Order, The Division, Halo 5, Quantum Break, all delayed until next year, and that's just the tip of the fucking iceberg. I don't know about you guys, but are we actually gonna have some new game announcements this year when everything was meant to come out this year is gone? Over the last few days, there have been tons of CG trailers. I'm hoping that this is to clear up time for actual gameplay, but I honestly don't know. If there's one piece of advice I could give to Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo, it's to cut to the fucking chase. I don't want a 10-minute long talk about how you're gonna revolutionize gaming. Just show the fucking games. I just want game after game after game. Just keep showing them. That's all I care about. Now, when it comes to exclusive titles, I'm worried about this year. It's fine and fucking dandy if you want to have exclusives releasing in 2015, but what about the here and now? Third party doesn't cut it with me because I have a PC, and even if I didn't, that's not good enough for me. Showing shit like that on the stage doesn't work for me because I want a reason to blow the dust off of my consoles and play some games. The hope of Nintendo securing third-party games is basically out of the question, so they have to show exclusive titles. But then Nintendo, we know exclusives are coming, and exclusives sell systems. The excellent Mario Kart 8 bolstered Wii U sales exponentially, and I should know because I have a Wii U now. All Nintendo has to do to have a good show in my eyes is show some fucking games, and I'll be happy with my purchase. Nintendo has the strongest exclusives on the market, no doubt. Sony and Microsoft are a different story. Don't get me wrong, I love a lot of the Sony exclusive franchises, and I like Halo a great deal, but when it comes to AAA exclusives this year, shit's looking barren. Don't sugarcoat it. The PS4 has Drive Club, and the Xbox One has Sunset Overdrive and Forza Horizon 2. That's basically it for major exclusives. Those games will be good, no doubt, but the lineup itself is shit, and both Sony and Microsoft can't rely on third parties when PC is growing. We've already discussed Nintendo, so let's move on to Sony. Sony's coming into E3 with an advantage, but that doesn't mean they're safe. It's widely known that Sony is sitting on freaking shit tons of developers. We know that they have games coming, but this year is important, and this year is being neglected. Uncharted 4 and God of War 4 are not releasing until next year at the earliest, and both Media Molecule and Guerrilla have said they aren't coming to E3. Sucker Punch only just finished Second Son, so what major games can Sony release this year alongside Drive Club? They have to release something worthwhile aside from Drive Club, or else their momentum is gonna fucking derail. Microsoft has the same issue, though to a lesser extent as it stands right now. Halo 5, Quantum Break, and Gears of War are not releasing until next year. This means Microsoft needs to announce at least one big AAA exclusive title to really bolster the holiday season this year. Sunset Overdrive looks pretty cool, but that would never be a big system seller for most people just because of the way it presents itself. I'm probably going to buy an Xbox One just to play that game, but a lot of people won't. The price drop is definitely going to help move systems, but the PS4 is still more popular and will always have the superior multi-plats on console. We know that over the last few years, Microsoft has been picking up lots of developers to make exclusives, and Phil Spencer says new IPs will be at E3 this year, so fucking show that shit at your conference and win people over. They need to announce as many exclusives as they can, and they will have a good show. As you can no doubt tell, exclusives are what I want to see. Multiplats will get their own showing. They'll get their trailers and their gameplay put up online. Multiplats don't matter to me at these conferences because I have a high-end PC. I'm going to get the superior multiplats and so will many others. PC gaming is growing, so the big three, more than ever, need to show exclusives. We all know the three of them are sitting on developers, so put them to use and fucking produce. This year is starting to look shittier for gaming, so prove me wrong, because I want E3 to be good. I honestly do. We haven't had a good one for many years, and that needs to change. I now own 2 of the 3 consoles and want to get all 3 of them later this year. I want a reason to play on these consoles, because I still enjoy gaming on consoles, and these companies have a lot to prove. Don't fuck up, guys. Have a good show.